Warning, this video is off the top of my head and with no script, because I suck at making scripts. This is a very different video than usual, so I hope you enjoy. Take care.
The 1980s Transformers show. The reason I started making Transformers content in the first place is a friend introduced me to the show, and I was pretty much hooked. I love it. She introduced me to the episodes The Master Builders and I think it was Microbots, which to a person who's never seen Transformers before was a wild ride. But I've watched more of the series now, and I've even watched the movie on accident. And there being seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 only being 3 episodes long. But a little across the tracks, you might remember a little bit of a different season 4. Transformers The Headmasters. Me and my friends started watching this show for a bit of a laugh after I learned that voice acting is awful, and we chugged through the first 15 episodes, technically 16, and now I'm going to just say my thoughts on the show before I finish the series. But I believe I should give you a small story time on why this series even exists in the first place. So American Hasbro gave very little animation budget allocated for Season 4, which were to promote the new Headmaster toy line, and basically a bunch of others. But Japan had other ideas. So now that we have some of the prerequisite out of the way, let's get into a basic plot summary. Don't worry, this isn't going to take long, which is the problem. After a recap of the events in G1 that lead us here, we start out on the peaceful Cybertron, or Cyberton, that the show calls it. And Galvatron and his minions are trying to go to the Sigma computer. Or at least that's like the goal of most of these early episodes. Get to the Sigma computer for something. Then shortly after, a full-out war bursts out on Cybertron. That's kind of par for the course. And after a long kerfuffle, the 3 soldiers from the sky fall down. They are part of the Headmasters, Fortress Maximus's army / team thing. And I'll get to them in a bit. But they fight off the menace, or at least attempt to, and then Fortress Maximus does a thing. And then the rest of the thing plays out pretty standard. Rodimus Prime does some stuff. Optimus goes into Vector Sigma, or the computer station, I'm pretty sure he calls it, to go basically to see what's up there, and that's about it. There he meets Alpha Trion, and the reason I'm neglecting stuff on the surface is it's not really important, but overall, things are going decently until Optimus Prime goes into basically the core of Vector Sigma, or the computer station, and there he gets ambushed by Galvatron and his minions. But then Rodimus Prime comes in to save the day with the the Power Pack. Yep, the Power Pack. Yes. And they become 2 Optimus Primes. Okay, really, Dub? But whatever. They kick their shiny metal posteriors, but then Galvatron basically jumps in and gets a finishing blow on Optimus Prime for the second time. And now he's down for the count completely. He turns gray, gives a little monologue, and then dies. The battle still rages on, and And after that, nothing really much happens. And what I mean by nothing else happens is nothing actually progresses the story forward that much. We do meet some actual important faces though. So, we meet Scorponok has his own team of Headmaster guys that are somehow better at their jobs than the actual Headmasters. But some stuff that does happen is the Headmasters almost die in quicksand. Daniel saves the day while the Headmasters just fight Galvatron for like most of the episode. Giant plant. We go to some animal planet and save some village. And yeah, that's kind of about it. Interesting things. But soon, the battle is back on Cyberdon because Vector Sigma is making some super awesome metal stuff that Galvatron wants to get so we can make an unstoppable weapon to destroy the Autobots once and for all. So they go there, try to get to Vector Sigma, but then Vector Sigma starts melting down. And Scorponok, the complete moron, has the brilliant idea to blow up Cybertron to eliminate the Autobots. And he doesn't tell anyone about this until the charges are planted and the bomb is about to blow. He informs Galvatron to say that they should leave. Galvatron doesn't believe that he set up charges inside of Cybertron, so he runs into Vector Sigma to try to see it and probably try to stop it. He sees it, he can't stop it, and he blows up. The entirety of Cybertron is donezo. So, next, the most logical course of action for some reason is Rodimus Prime and a couple of other people just leave, and they leave RC on babysitting duty. RC barely does anything in this series, and that's really annoying. But we're left with the Headmasters, and the leader of the Autobots is now Fortress Maximus. Either the Rodimus leaves with the Power Pack, aka the Matrix leadership. So yeah, we don't have any Matrix anymore, so that's great. And you know what the next episode is?
Good.
We're celebrating a party doing karaoke night because we're about to launch this satellite thing. But then Scorponok hears about it and we can use this to get plasma energy or something. That's also why he wants to blow up Mars. He also released giant plants to eat the city and stuff. All of his plans are failing. All of his plans fail, and I just can't see any logic behind it. Keep in mind the Headmasters are getting thrashed every single fight they participate in this entire series. This divulges in the episode where we try to blow up Mars. It's actually either a 2 or 3-parter. Learn in an earlier episode that Fortress Maximus can turn into a gigantic new being that with his Master Sword, and it can be like super big and destroy everything. And he uses the Master Sword to also get out of an exploding Mars, because the exploding Mars did something with energy to allow him to use the Master Sword and not blow up. Yeah, this all culminates when we learn that Scorponok has a big mechanized battle scorpion, and he also has a big suit that he can basically just wear. And for a bonus little episode 16 thing, Galvatron returns out of some random spaceship thing and says he's been watching them, and that and that Galvatron has seen the greatness Scorponok has brought to the Decepticons, but that doesn't really make any sense. Scorponok's plans have done nothing but fail and hasn't gotten anything anywhere. Within this time, Blaster, or Billy, dies in a really climactic, quote-unquote, fight with Soundwave, which makes Soundwave become Sound Blaster, new Soundwave. Why new Soundwave? Billy becomes Twincast. Did I say Twincast? I meant Blaster. Why the names? But that really does not serve any purpose until a little bit later. It gives us next segment called Why the Headmasters Are Bad. Oh, the Headmasters. I wish I could like you. You're massive robots that have a decently cool gimmick. But you're just so dumb. And I mean the characters. My biggest issue with the Headmasters is they don't actually prove that they're worth of anything. Like, most of the fights they get thrashed and have to call upon Fortress Maximus to help them out. The issue is, it's almost always like this, or they don't contribute to the plot. Take the one where the meteorite that like crumples things. I'll put the episode on here. That's one of Galvatron's plans. And that's the episode where he said Daniel saved the day. Because he does. Daniel is the hero of the episode. And you know what the Headmasters are doing 9 times out of 10 in that episode? They're fighting Galvatron in some random place that has nothing to do with any of the other events happening in the episode. Like, most of the episode, they're fighting in this desert area with the aerial bots and the animal bots. I forgot what their names are, but they're like orange and they have bed. But now we're in space and Daniel is about to blow up the meteorite. You know what the Headmasters are doing? We have 4 options. They're either helping Daniel get to the 2, fighting Galvatron for no reason. 3, helping out on Fortress Maximus' big spaceship. Or 4, trying to defuse the problem from far away. If you guessed 2, you are correct! Because that's exactly what they're doing. They're fighting Galvatron for literally no reason. Maybe they're trying to be a dummy decoy, but also, it's a meteorite that if they themselves get close to, they crumple and die. Galvatron couldn't stop it even if he wanted to. The Blaster saves the day or something. This is the episode where Galvatron, I'm pretty sure, basically says the plan is to have this like magnetic bug that will do bad stuff. It's been like a month since I've watched Headmasters, so the details are a little fuzzy. But what I do know is that this magnetic bug is invincible, and it's big. And as long as Soundwave has the little controller part, then everything will be fine. Blaster and his cassette robots, they're just called cassette robots most of the time. But Blaster and his cassette robots end up crashing the party. They get to 6 shots later, which then they find the plans to do a thing. They run over to where Galvatron and Soundwave are, and then he blows up the magnetic bug control device thingy. And then the Headmasters, who have been fighting one of these invincible bugs all episode, finally destroy the bug. Do you see the problem here? The Headmasters, the namesake of the show, did nothing of actual use. Let's just introduce some characters that I missed. Chrome Dome, he's one of the Autobot Headmasters, and he is really dumb in the Meathead. But all of them are really dumb in Meathead. Six Shot, the ninja consultant of the Decepticons, and he has not really done that much. He went on a rampage to the city for some reason, and he has your standard ninja power affair, like the ability to create like temporary clones of himself, the ability to like throw ninja stars or like weapons and be sneaky. He's also a six changer. He can be a gun, a tank, a wolf, a robot, and two other things. But he's a fine character. Like, he's not the worst written. He's actually one of the better written characters. It's not great, but this show is lacking in well-written characters. Speaking of character writing, the show writes characters very much out of character. Like, let's take Blaster, or Billy, or whatever you call him. He lacks everything that made Blaster, Blaster. And he's basically a regular military man. Who's no nonsense and wants to get the job done. That's not Blaster. You know who else isn't themselves? Marshall! Jazz. To where he, again, is just kind of a guy, a military guy. And he also doesn't appear that often anyways. The only one to stick around from the original cast is Ultra Magnus, because I've seen him in a couple of episodes. He doesn't really do that much. Overall, the characters you really see the most are Wheelie, Daniel, Sparkle Witwicky, or Spike, if you're normal, Carrie or Carly, and the Headmasters and Fortress Maximus. The writing itself is dull as ever. There are so many episodes where nothing's happening of importance. And that was in the original G1 show. The issue, most of the stories at least ended somewhere to where we defeat the Decepticons. And yeah, we do that here. It's done in the most plain way ever. Even if the plots are absurd, they struggle in making sense. And overall, like, the only funny things when they mispronounce Cybertron. The original show, with all of its flaws and faults, did a couple of things right that this show just does wrong. The stories can be all over the place and whimsical, but they make sense at the end of the day in their own universe. None of these stories actually end up making proper sense, and you can be lost throughout the most of it. 2. Comedy. This show is not very funny for the jokes it tries to make. It's usually funny with jokes that it's not trying to make. What I mean by that is either weird line delivery or funny line delivery that's clearly by accident. All the actual jokes, the few that are here, are just not good. The original show, on the other hand, actually had regular good jokes and one-liners that got me on multiple listens and repeats. They're not the best, but they are serviceable. These are not serviceable. Basically, the thing is, like, the bulk of your laugh should come from the jokes you tell, not from random stuff that's not supposed to be funny. Characters. All the characters in Headmasters just kind of feel blah at the end of the day. They don't really leave anything to remember. That's why I struggle to remember anyone's name besides Chrome Dome. Because none of them are really that memorable. There's stuff like Blue Streak, Smoke Screen, and stuff like that. At least they have lines or episodes, like Red Alert, like lines or episodes that actually just make you remember the characters. There's nothing like that here. The final segment will basically just be ending thoughts and final ramblings. Title card. This video has been in the making for a while, and also this is all done off the cuff because I can't write a script for anything. So if some of it sounds a little like I'm not prepared, it's just because like I do better at improv, even though I suck at improv, kind of thing. But overall, the show is just kind of lacking in the expectation department. And the only thing keeping me watching is the terrible voice acting. And the dub. And before anyone can say it, I know I could probably watch the Japanese sub or the English sub instead of the dub. But the problem with that is because I don't want to read while I'm watching the cartoon show. I just want to watch the cartoon show. And the problem with the sub is that doesn't change the actual show. Like, it doesn't make the plot any better, it doesn't make the Headmasters any more useful or anything. Plus, the dub's the only thing keeping me on the series. So I'll get together with my friend at some point and we'll finish the rest of the grueling thing of Headmasters. Oh yeah, most of Scorponok's plans absolutely suck. Like blowing up a volcano to make it erupt to destroy some random village for no reason. I don't get why that. Maybe it was about some of the plasma energy stuff I was mentioning earlier. I also don't know why Raiden, or I'm sorry, Grimlock, is called Grimlock, because there's already a character named Grimlock that only appears in the first couple of episodes. Like, after the first couple of episodes, we don't see any Dinobots ever again, from what I've seen. Well, I hope this video has at least been somewhat entertaining, and I'll see you around. Goodbye, everybody.